Welcome to this edition of All Burgundy and Gold, everything with Urban Sports Scene on Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. Wole, myself, Ray, and Mo, we are your hosts. And right now we are joined by a brother who is no stranger to the Urban Sports Scene, or I'm sorry, All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the Urban Sports Scene. You can catch this dude on multiple platforms. He's the host of the POV Sports Show, which is Monday on Soultalk 100. He's also a writer for the Shadow League. I read his articles all the time. And MLB bro, Devon Mason. What's good, brother?
Good to be back on, fellas. Thank you for the opportunity, man. Always good to chop it up with some knowledgeable, great dudes, man. So just happy to be here. I got the inbox from Mo earlier, and Wole, I didn't see it. And I was busy doing like 50 things. You know, I had a conference call this morning with some people from MLB Bro. Had to get that straight, do some stuff. Because I do a lot of the historic stuff for the baseball side of them. I do like Kirby Puckett and Albert Bell and Frank Thomas and Jermaine Dye. We talk about all black and brown baseball players. So I do like the people forgot about this dude type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bringing up names that people probably don't remember a lot of and just writing things about them and also just your daily stuff. So that then, you know, the Shadow League, I can write about anything. I have no real boundaries. I can just express myself as much as I want to. So
can you tell the folks about the Shadow League?
Okay, the Shadow League is a sports culture entity. It's trying to support Blacks. Of course, we stretch it out a little bit. We touch other stuff too, but it was mainly started by 4 guys in New York, and I'm the 5th guy. And we kind of do our own writing. We edit our own stuff, basically to keep everything in house. And we're connected to different entities. Like I just did an interview last week with Overtime, the new next gen thing. I interviewed the dude that's doing their NASCAR. They are sponsoring a 19-year-old dude named Hayden Swank. And I've talked to Dan Porter and everybody, the CEO of Overtime and all that. Got to chat with him, chop it up for a hot minute. So I did an interview with him on being a black NASCAR driver, trying to get to the level that Bubba Wallace is. Then I did one with Ray Raja Karoof, who is in the stock car side, who's Bubba Wallace's mentee. So I was able to interview both of them in a matter of like a 3-day span. So, it was pretty dope, man. Just something different, something to touch, and we do a little bit of everything. We touch everything. If we just take an angle that we see, like right now, I just put out an article today on Naomi Osaka doing her academies in Haiti and Los Angeles for young girls and all people that want to play tennis. And also dropped one today on no HBCUs having a player drafted in the NFL, only one in the last 2 drafts. Then we also, we come in. Also, I got one on LeBron James crying about the play-in tournament when he was the one that championed it last year. He was the one that said it when they was the 1 seed. He was crying about it. So just a lot of stuff, man. Not to get off subject, we talking football, but just a lot of things. Y'all see everything I do. I just write about anything. If it's out there and I know it's something that's going, that's moving, I'm gonna try to put it on paper and get it out there too. That's it. It's a blessing, man.
Real quick, brother. Like I said, I ain't trying to get off subject either, but I gotta ask you, man. Your man Jimbo Fisher came out. He coming for y'all, bro. He's coming for Bama. He said, "I'm coming for the GOAT."
Yeah,
he sound like Rex Ryan, right?
When you make the kind of money he makes and you getting your butt kicked by them every year, you gotta say something. So until he can get in the trenches and defend, until he can get the trenches worked out, he'll never beat Alabama. He don't have the size up front. He's getting there. But until his trenches can match up, you can't even worry about the skill positions because we beat them up in the trenches. We run the ball down their throat when we play them, And this year was the year to beat us. If you was going to beat us, I thought this was the year. COVID, the defense was okay, not great, got better. But Florida showed you the blueprint, but everybody don't have 84, 1, and 8 catching passes and 12 throwing the ball. So that's the reason why no one can beat us. Everyone don't have that. 81 and 4. Tony and Pitts were a nightmare. If they can do what they did to the Bama defenders, they can do that in the NFL because you were going up against NFL caliber guys and they torched our secondary. We won because they couldn't stop us. That's why we beat them. That's why we beat them. No answer for Najee Harris. But Jimbo sound good. That's
black
all
and yellow. Black and yellow now, baby. But let's get started, fam. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also, tweet us at Urban Sports Scene and hit us up on our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Wole.
It's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll recap some of Washington's draft selections, and we'll debate whether Washington had the best draft in the NFC East. But first, actually, Mo, it's on you now. I apologize.
Man, first, let's talk about this 19th overall pick, man. Let's talk about this 19th overall pick by the Washington football team when they selected Jamin Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky. How will he fit in this defense? I'm gonna let you go since you the guest.
Oh, me?
Yeah, man. You
bro.
You gonna rock it.
I think it's the best pick they could have got if they weren't going to get Micah Parsons. I mean, I think when you look at Micah Parsons, he's the most explosive and the most known linebacker. Jamin Davis is Darius Leonard Part 2, though. When you look at Jamin Davis, he's got the size. He has one thing I saw when I watched 4 or 5 hours of film on him because I did a draft show last week. We did one in Ocean City. We went to Eastern Maryland and we did one in Arundel Mills. We did all the rounds. Me and Tony Kennedy to run the Crab Bowl. I was with his group. We did a good thing. It was really good. We was at Christian Darrisaw's draft party last Thursday up in Ocean City. Wow. So when they made the pick, I wasn't surprised because I thought Darrisaw may be the guy because I thought they were looking for a tackle too. But I saw that they got Flowers back the day before, and I said they're going to wait. And I told somebody, I said they're going to draft Sam Cosmi, not to get off subject. I said they're going to wait and try to get Sam Cosmi because I heard Ron Rivera mention that he had talked to Joe Jacoby, and Joe Jacoby said he saw a lot of himself in Sam Cosmi. Not saying he'll be that good, but there's a chance. He has potential. So the Jamin Davis pick didn't really surprise me like it probably, because I looked at it and I said, the front seven with the guys, you're getting Ioannidis back. You're probably going to get him back unless you can make a move to get Aaron Rodgers, but you have to probably include him. If that fell into your lap, you have to make that move. But right now, your front seven is going to have their best guy before last year back. People forget he was the best D lineman coming into last year. The other three, the other couple of guys developed as the year wore on. Chase Young came in, Sweat got better, Allen got better, Payne got better, but Ioannidis was the mainstay. He was the guy that I thought him and Settle were the two most consistent. Settle in limited time did more than what some other guys were doing in much more playing time. So you're getting Ioannidis back. So you got 5 legit, you got the 2 ends, 2 edge guys, then you got 4 guys inside that can play tackle or end, that can play however you decide to go, 4-3, 3-4, whatever you play. So now, guess what? You have Cole Holcomb on the weak side cleaning that up, but now you got a guy that can actually run and cover in Jamin Davis. And that was the weakest link of the defense last year. It wasn't the secondary. Secondary was iffy at times, but overall, for what they were kind of supposed to be, they were pretty decent. The problem was the middle of the field. They gave up too much of the middle, and they gave it up all the time. So now you get a guy like Davis, and like I said, I see a lot of Darius Leonard, a guy that no one talked about. Davis played in the SEC, and he had 11 tackles against Alabama. He tackled Najee Harris 4 times by himself. I watched the highlights, and I said, you tackling Najee Harris by yourself, you're pretty damn good. Let's just be real, because Najee don't go down on the first contact. He's always moving. So I think it's a great pick. I think Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio being linebackers, I think they knew. They looked at it like, we like to have Parsons, but Parsons wasn't going to fall to 19. He was the best defensive player in the draft, probably. Most explosive, most athletic, all the things you want. He has a lot of that. He has LeVar Arrington, but he's more under control. He could play in the middle. LeVar Arrington was basically an outside guy that wasn't smart enough to be in the middle because he wanted to just go get the quarterback. I think Micah Parsons is a little bit smarter, and he can understand. And also playing for Dan Quinn, who had a guy like Bobby Wagner, who was really an athlete that didn't understand the position until he got him in the draft that year. And people forget Bobby Wagner was really the best player in that draft outside of Russell Wilson when you break down careers. That 2012 draft might have been Bobby Wagner after Russell Wilson when you look at it. They're the 2 best players, and both of them were picked to be the quarterback of the offense and the defense in Seattle. That's why they got on that run. That was huge to get them 2 pieces. So I think, quarterback is still a problem, but you got a linebacker that you can say can quarterback my defense now. I think that's big for them.
So you did mention Micah Parsons. So you were in I felt like there was all talk about trading down. I mean, trading up to kind of get, whoever. People were talking quarterback. And I always said that, for me, I said this in Mo for last week. I said that if you're going to trade up, you're trading up for Michael Parsons. He got to a point where that was kind of a possibility. You saw teams making bigger jumps than that. If you were Washington, I mean, now I know they got Jamin Davis, and everyone's kind of happy with getting Davis. But if you were Washington, would you go the route and trade him to get Micah Parsons? If you was in that situation, you would.
I like him. I like him a lot, but he's a hothead. He had a hazing issue that no one talks about in college. Not saying he didn't grow up.
Oh, okay.
He got, James Franklin threw some, kind of told the other guys take the heat because he was too valuable to lose. Special talent. There's no denying the talent. He's a freak of nature. But there's things on film with him that I saw that you can do to him that you can't do to Davis. Davis isn't easily fooled. Davis plays with athleticism, but he also plays with leverage, and he plays with his eyes. I've watched Parsons. He's so gifted athletically that he completely forgets his assignment and will try to make every play. And that's going to be something that is going to have to be, you can get him misdirection, up-tempo stuff. He'll give the middle of the field up. You zone read it, pull it. That tight end is going to have the middle of the field for a while. He's going to have to learn how to play that because he's more of a downhill guy. Now, he has potential to do anything you need at that position. There's no take. I can't stand Dallas, but I won't sit here and say they didn't get a hell of a player. They did. But it's going to take, I think what he has to get better at is going to take longer than what Davis has to get better at. Put it like that. I think Davis can come right in and they're going to plug him in and use him. And also having those guys in front of him is going to allow Davis to mature at the rate that he's comfortable at. He won't have to be dynamite right away because the front, I'm saying that D-line is unreal. When you got those kind of guys on the D-line, you're just going to be able to run free and you're not going to have many people getting to you at the second level. So he should be able to clean up. He should have 100 tackles easily. So
who would you say is your favorite selection in the draft and why? And you can pick more than one.
Of any team in the draft?
No, for Washington.
My favorite pick was Dyami Brown.
Okay.
I think when you get Dyami Brown, he was a guy, people forget he had offers from Alabama, Florida, Georgia. He could have went anywhere. He chose North Carolina because he didn't want his family having to try to get to games because they, don't have a lot. He said, basically, we just come from, we barely made it coming up. So I don't want my mom and dad struggling to get the games and can't. And then you hearing rumors of me taking money because they had to get somewhere. So I went to the home school. Mac Brown is a coach that has NFL connections. We had an NFL quarterback in Sam Howell. We had NFL running backs. We had other NFL pieces on that team. Chad Surratt was on that team. They had dudes on that team that could play. So why not go to the home team and turn them? And Carolina was, not that they were ever that good. They were ranked 5th at one time before other teams started their season. Not saying they should have been that high, but they have potential to be a top 10 team. They have enough talent. After Clemson and the ACC, they're probably the best team. Florida State's down right now. So him, with his ability to get deep, and one thing I always look for with these fast guys, you can be fast, but what is your catch radius? And he's not the biggest guy, but he's got a lot of Deshaun Jackson in his catch radius. When the ball's up, he goes and gets it. So got great over-the-shoulder catch. I think he dropped one pass over the shoulder in his career, I read. One pass. That says a lot about a guy that's not that big. And he can run. So now you got 4.3 speed in Samuel, 4.3 speed in McLaurin, 4.3 speed in Dyami Brown. Guess what? Adam Humphrey is going to eat in the middle with that slot because they're going to be so worried about the deep stuff. Logan Thomas and Adam Humphrey should have a field day with all his speed, taking people downfield. Then you got Gibson and McKissick. They're quick out the backfield and can run. So the key is just the quarterback just not being bad, just not losing games because they should be able to win a lot of games with the way they should be able to defend, and they should be able to really move the football a lot better than they were. They can't be any worse than they were last year offensively. They were anemic last year, So I think he's the best pick. I think Cosme is right there too. Of course, Jamin Davis. All of them are good picks, but if I had to say one that I could see, the defense was good enough to me. It still could be serviceable without Davis, I think. But Dyami Brown gives you that second guy. I love Samuel, but I don't know if Samuel's a slot or he's a deep threat. I got to see that. I know Dyami Brown's a take it off the top guy that you just can't overload the side and take McLaurin out the game. So now you got another speed guy that's going to make teams have to respect McLaurin less and allow him to eat more. McLaurin get one-on-one, he's going to win that most of the time. He's being doubled and tripled a lot of times because there's no one else to throw the ball to. But I think Dyami Brown, and I think at the end, Shaka Toney. People don't know, man. Shaka Toney, they picked him up as an undrafted free agent, I believe. The kid was a dynamite player at Pitt State. He just fell into a numbers crunch. He can be a guy that you can see on this team for 5 to 7 years if he does what he's supposed to do. So,
Hey, good stuff, brother. And we've
Thanks,
discussed Jamin Davis. Obviously, we talked about Micah Parsons. Just to go back to some things you said, Washington did have some reaches. Cameron Cheeseman, of course, St. Juice. The jury's out on him. Although, again, we're talking about fit, though. I think the Marty Herney, they did what they felt like they needed to do to make sure that they fit the pieces in with what they're building. So it's not all just about talent. However, when we broaden the discussion to the NFC East, which is what you're competing for, to me, that's your number one goal as a football team, to win the NFC East. You're the defending champs. Every team in the NFC East did some good things. We'll start with the first round picks. We already mentioned Dallas. We already mentioned Washington. Devontae Smith obviously went to Philly. Mm-hmm. And the Giants got Kadarius Toney, which some are questioning whether he should have been taken at that spot, but they got Ojulari in the second round, which I think he's unblockable, bro. So who in the NFC East, in your opinion, and everybody I'm sure could take a chance to go with this, had the best draft? Think about this with Philly too. They also got Jacoby Stevens, the safety, from LSU, and they got Gainwell, the running back from Memphis. So some talent went to each of these teams. Who has the upper hand head in the training camp? Upper hand.
Based on that, probably Philly. And I'm going to be a realist. Philly. I mean, you get Devontae Smith, the Heisman winner. Mm-hmm. You get a guy that people don't understand. Oh, he's too small. Man, he's been that small his whole life. He played in the SEC 4 years and dominated. People forget. I'm going to give you some of the corners that he torched. J.C. Horn, who was an 8th pick in the draft, torched him last year when they played one-on-one. 11 catches, 125 and a touchdown.
But they say only about 70 of them was on J.C. though.
The touchdown was.
Yeah, I know it was.
And JC made a play or two where he knocked the ball out of his hands. But overall, JC, the times he didn't beat him, he had help over the top.
Of course.
But the guy that's supposed to be the best corner next year is Derek Stingley. Did he torch him for 500 yards in 2 games? They played against each other in college. 2 games, 500 yards. Just about 5 touchdowns. Another corner that he torched that's in the NFL already, Tre'Davious White. When Tre'Davious White was a junior, he was a freshman. I think he had 9 catches for 90 yards against LSU. That was his biggest game up until the championship game catch, where he made against Tua.
Holton from LSU that got drafted by Tennessee last year.
Yep, and Tre'Davious White is one of the best corners in the NFL right now. I just think when you look at Devontae Smith, they always question his size. They got to remember, the NFL and college football isn't what it used to be. You don't have them safeties patrolling the middle field, knocking heads off. They get thrown out of the game. So it prevents guys from killing people like him, which he probably would have died in the Ronnie Lott, Jack Tatum, Sean Taylor, Roy Williams from the Cowboy era, Chuck Cecil and Andre Waters and all them guys coming downhill, just unloading on you because they could. Now you can't do that. So he's going to, the thing that people forget about him is he don't look strong, but he doesn't seem to be bothered by people trying to play bump and run, press coverage. He's got great off the line footwork, and he knows how to get open. So I think when you look at Devontae Smith, that right there in itself is enough for me to sway with the, I just think he was underappreciated. I think Jamar Chase deserved to be the top receiver. I'm not taking that from him. He was dynamite the year before. He was unreal. But he also was in an offense that had 2 other picks that, Torrance Marshall was a first-round pick. He was supposed to be the guy at LSU when they got there. He got hurt, and that's when Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase kind of appeared. So Torrance Marshall was a first-round pick himself. So you had him, Jefferson, and Chase. Not taking anything from what they did, but Jalen Waddle got hurt, and you still had no answer for Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. Jalen Waddle broke his ankle, and you knew they were going to feed him over abundantly. They were going to over abundantly feed him, and he still was killing people. And yeah, Michi and them other guys played okay, but you knew at the end of the day on 3rd and 8, who was Mac Jones going to look for? Devontae Smith or Najee Smith out the backfield, his 2 most trusted pieces, and he still made those plays. So for me, go ahead.
You sound like a Bama fan. I'm just being
I
real.
know.
You can tell you're a Bama fan.
You can tell. You can see it, right?
Cut you off, brother, but your fandom is coming out. So I'm just saying, somebody who a little more objective, jump in here, because I know that's your man. And I don't know if Philly drafted some talent. Like I said, I named some other guys, but I don't know if they had the best draft.
But he right though. Know what? Real talk though. He right though. Devontae has been they have been lowballing Devontae Smith.
They lowball. Jump in on Devontae Smith. Can I jump in? I think Devontae Smith has been. I think he's been misrepresented. I think people got the comp all wrong. right? They're trying to say he's Marvin Harrison. He doesn't have the quick twitch. He's not Marvin Harrison. If you watch the receiver position, plus he's almost 6'2". Marvin Harrison was 5'11". He's Isaac Bruce reincarnated. He's Isaac Bruce, long strider. He's faster than he looks. He can run every route in the book. He can take you over the top. Isaac Bruce was 175, 180 for a long time. We're talking about a kid, right? We're talking about a kid that's slim build. He came into Alabama at 140 pounds. He played as a freshman at 145 pounds. He's graduated to 170 pounds. We will call that progress. He's never going to be a big frame guy. None of this. He's probably he's going to max out at 185. He's going to max out at 185. But the way he runs routes, the way he gets in and out of his breaks, those hands, that dude is fantastic. Like the way he tracks the ball is fantastic. Right? So I see where he's going with Philly. I can't agree with Philly, though. To answer Ray's question, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of how the team was last year and what they added this year, who had the best draft. And in terms of that, we got to give it to the Washington football team. I didn't get to jump in on Jamin Davis earlier, right? Jamin Davis, you said it. Darius Leonard reincarnated. We're talking about 6'3", 235. We're talking about 4.4 speed, legitimate 4.4 speed. I'm not giving nobody the 4.3s and the 4.2s this year. It's been a bunch of hand times. I'm a former track guy. I know how that works. I know how that works. Somebody's thumb a little either quick or late. Okay, so he's a legitimate 4.4 guy, right? Before I saw the Darius Leonard comp, I thought Patrick Willis. Before I saw the Darius Leonard comp, I thought Patrick Willis. That's what I thought, right? Because of the speed and coverage. We know what Pat used to do, and we know Pat got amplified when he got Navarro. Right? Yeah. Now I'm looking at Jamin, and when I'm looking at the addition of Jamin behind that front seven, with the two guys that's coming back, the backup settle, and Ioannidis being the best one the year before, with what we know Chase can do, and even though he hasn't had that season yet, but we know what Chase can do and what Sweat is going to do. Sweat has been the constant. Jamin Davis behind that front seven, Landon Collins coming back. I saw a report the other day he's going to play as strong safety. It makes Landon. I know how you feel about Landon Wole. I see the Stevie Wonder going on. You don't want to see him. You don't want to see Landon back there. That's why you got the Stevie Wonder going on. But man, you got to figure something out.
He don't like Landon Collins, man.
I used to. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, I'm with you, though.
You know what I mean? Everybody's improving. You put Jamin in the middle of that defense with the speed that they already have, the speed that he then possesses. Now, the only thing that's going to up for debate is Jack Del Rio going to let William Jackson play bump and run? Is he going to let him put his hands on players? If he puts him in that third, it's going to be a problem. He's going to mess up the flow. You got to let that front seven get to the quarterback and have the guys do what they do best in the back end. And then Jamin clean up everything in the middle. Jamin will be either borderline Pro Bowl or a Pro Bowler in the first 2 years of his tenure if he doesn't get hurt because of what he does. Cosme is a perfect fit because he could be that swing tackle on the right or the left, depending on what you're going to do with Moses, right?
Like Inseki used to be. Yeah.
Right? If Sadiq Charles don't figure that out, guess what? We got somebody that played left tackle in college at a major Power 5 school, right? He still got the same Eric Flowers effect. We already know the center to the right side is solid. Now, if Eric Flowers can give you what he gave you the first time around, right? I'm still wary of the fact that he got cut after the first year on a $30 million deal. But if he can give you what he gave you the first time around, I'm thinking that as long as the left tackle is serviceable, whether it's Cosme or Charles, excellent, right? Then you turn around, De'Ami Brown, one of my favorite picks in the draft, right? I was talking about him in the pre-draft like a couple of shows way back ago because I have that North Carolina team you was talking about. I have a young boy that I know, Miles Woolfolk, that he played safety back then, number 11 for the last 2 years.
Play for Wise. I know you're talking about. Yeah, I coached against him.
His father coached me in high school.
Okay.
His father coached me in high school. So I've seen De'Ami Brown, and I've seen that talent from Jump Street. That kid can play football. You talking about Adam Humphries going to eat in the middle. Adam Humphries going to get cut. Because Harmon's coming back. Don't forget Harmon's coming back.
He is coming back.
Yeah, but that's on the ACL.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's coming back.
They got about 11 receivers on the roster right now.
I don't know. He's gonna
Adam Humphries getting cut.
I don't think Adam getting cut, but
listen, De'Ami Brown's gonna make the team. De'Ami Brown's gonna make the team.
No, he's gonna start. I think he's making the team.
You're paying Samuel too much. You're paying Samuel too much. You know who Terry is. You know who Terry is. Curtis Samuel's gonna man that slot. He's going to man that slot. That's what he's getting paid for. He's going to man that slot. So it only leaves one other slot receiver to be on the roster. You're going to probably keep 5, maximum 6. If you keep, I don't know how the practice squad works this year because it's not supposed to be a COVID year. So if that's the case, then you'll keep a little bit more. But I don't see Cam getting cut. I know you hate it, but I don't see Cam getting cut.
Cam, I don't think Cam getting cut either. Even though
I don't see Cam getting cut. So that's
Sims fan.
Wole. That's 4 already, Wole.
Oh, I know. I have a good idea who's gonna get cut. Steven Sims is gonna get cut. I know.
Yeah, he's cut. He out the door.
Sims is
he
cut.
Out the door.
I think Harmon
can get cut. I think Harmon's gonna get cut. To be real with you, because he's coming off of
Harmon
ACL.
might only get cut because this is not the group that drafted him.
Yeah, it's
right.
Like and he's coming off just like anything.
And
he's not a speed guy.
Harmon's game.
Ain't speed. I know it's not speed, but it makes it much worse though. If you're not
his
a speed dude and you
team, so But when I look at it, I gotta give Washington a nod. I know Ray was surprised.
I'm surprised too.
I was expecting. I told Wole, I said it might be a debate tonight because I do feel like the Giants, like I said, picked up a lot of talent. Philly as well, but in terms of fit and needs, I feel like Washington did the best. And none of y'all mentioned Derek Forrest. I'm disappointed.
I thought they were. I thought they were too.
Derek Forrest plays violent. I still think he's got some work to do. Just like I believe it's going to come together late in the season like it did last year with these young guys. I feel like they will gel as the season goes on. I don't know if their impact is going to be felt immediately, but Derek Forrest, do you see the angles he takes? I believe that he's going to be one of the most intelligent safeties on the team, but free safety is still up in the air for me for Washington. You know what I'm saying? So you got Earl Thomas sitting out there, just by the way.
Not Eric.
I didn't mean to cut y'all off. Free safety might be fixed. They bringing in Bobby McCain tomorrow.
Yeah, Bobby McCain from Miami.
He got cut today.
And I heard they're trying to bring Trey Boston.
Yeah, and they're bringing in Charles Lero too to play the offensive line too.
Offensive line, left tackle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they are trying to, like I said, he waited till
they bring him in. He's getting a visit. He's getting a visit.
Coming in together. Yeah, they're coming in tomorrow together. Yeah, so you may get both of them tomorrow, 2 vets that you can really use on your roster. So
we're talking a defense that was already pretty good last year. That looks like they're going to get better with these young pieces. I love Cosme. I love that pick, even though some people said they reached that where they drafted him at. But I'm okay with it because of just the running backs you have, McKissick, Gibson, that screen game. I hope they average more yards per carry this season. Wole, you're not sold on. I already know that. I told you I'm not sold. But do you think that Washington had the best draft in the division?
For me,
being a homer, because I think no, my bad. My man Devon, he is. Oh, I almost said this S word, the Skins word. He's a Washington football team fan too. So
yeah,
I'm just being real. I'm being objective. I know most said I was a homer.
Devon said Philly. Devon said Philly.
No. Oh, you said Philly, Devon?
Said Philly.
Okay, so I'm talking Wole. Who you going with?
Devon said Philly. Excuse me. Devon said Philly. Excuse me.
Yeah, I said Philly.
I just don't think Philly has enough pieces for Devontae Smith to matter.
I know who I picked the Cowboys.
Who you picked?
I got
the Cowboys?
Yeah, I like Michael Parsons a lot, man. Like a lot.
That's one player.
Kelvin Joseph.
And Cox too, man. I think Parsons and
Jabril Cox are free.
I think getting those 2 dudes, man. Like I know
but
folks who listen to the show. Like I know,
but he a Big Ten guy, Mo.
We know you're not going to hit. We know you're not going to hit on all your draft picks. They literally drafted as if they're trying to have wide sweeping changes on the defense.
I know, but when you get a Michael Parsons and you get
those
a steal,
got Dan Quinn.
You got Jabril Cox in the 4th, bro. Like
don't get me wrong.
That's like
I think the linebackers. I think the 2 linebackers are the 2 that are going to make it. I think they did a lot of reaching on a lot.
No, I'm not arguing that, but I just feel like when we talking about playmaking studs, like in 5 years, like these 2 dudes may not just be just Pro Bowl dudes. They can be like perennial all pro type of talent. Like I love, like you get, man, we just talked about Michael Parsons.
You know what's crazy? They might literally replace the 2 linebackers they had.
For real talk. Well,
you saw what they did as soon as they got Parsons. They didn't accept the 5th year on Leighton Vander Esch. He's out.
Oh, but that's good business though. That's just smart business.
Smart. They got a guy. I said they're not cutting him because he get hurt. They cutting him because they got a guy that's better, and they know this dude 1st round pick. He's gone.
Yeah.
And
this is like
Vander Esch overachieved the 1st year anyway. He overachieved. He had a great year. He was unbelievable. He like a young Sean Lee out there running around.
Yeah.
And then he started getting hurt. You know.
But what was the common denominator there was DeMarcus Lawrence. Ever since he got paid, He's been trash.
Yeah, he's been garbage, man.
He's been
garbage. He's been garbage. He has been garbage.
I'm just saying, so it's like
you get like $5 million per sack per season the last couple of years.
That's true, bro. It's bad.
Garbage.
Bama is not doing anything worth talking about. He's not even getting the pressures and the hurries either. He's not even out there, it seems like sometimes. Like literally, like
it's called stealing the church's money. That's what it's called.
Stealing.
So fam, I want to ask y'all this because of what we're talking about. Do you think that this division has a total makeover in terms of what it looked like? Because last year was the worst division in football. 7-9 obviously won it. With these young incoming guys, what do you see for the NFC East as a whole? Is it much more competitive now? We got to factor in COVID, injuries. Think about all these things. And that's why I like watching this draft. I think they're about done. Go ahead, Mo.
Let me go on there. I said that last year when y'all was celebrating this 7-9. I said it was the worst division in football in history of football. I said that. I said that the next year. I said this year the winner would be at least 10 to 11 wins. Dak got re-signed. Dak is instantly 4 to 5 wins for Dallas.
If he right.
The Giants have we have revamped the team. We have revamped the team. I'm not saying we're going to win because I'm a Giants fan. I'm just saying the way that the Giants have overhauled the team in terms of getting talent into New York, especially with the cap look like. We got us a legitimate wide receiver on the outside that's a 50-50 ball guy, 6'4", can do all that. He's done it
waiting
before,
for
right?
this.
26 is coming back, right? Nate Solder bumped out to the right tackle, right? So the holes that we have been filled. They've been filled with adequate players. The defense last year was already
good. It was good. No, real talk. I will say this. The Giants defense was underrated.
They want to play for.
I agree. It was really good.
It seems like we have a coach that they want to play for. Now we brought in talent. I didn't understand the KT pick last week, Thursday, because I didn't see the imagination in the offense, right? Especially with Jason Garrett calling plays. We know that Jason Garrett's style is, you know what we're going to do. We know what we're going to do. We're just better than you, and we're going to do it. So I didn't see how KT fit into that, being a gadget player / a slot receiver when Sterling Shepard has 3 more years under contract at $10 million a year, right? So to me, a top 20 pick has to come in and he has to touch the ball. If I have a top 20 pick wide receiver, he has to catch the ball 60 times. I'm sorry. He has to be in majority of the play. So I didn't understand the KT pick, but I got some more intel. I've done my research where supposedly it's going to be a revamped offense. So I'm looking forward to seeing this, right? So when you talk about revamp, you got that change happening in New York. We know what Washington's going to do because they have the best defense in the division. Plus the offense has gotten upgraded in some key spots, right? Now, we know that Dallas is going to be considerably better because Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the division. So instantly, those 3 teams are in contention for up to 10 wins, depending on how it swings. We're not factoring the injury right now. We're just looking at it on paper. I don't count Philly. I think Philly will be in a top 10 pick again next year. Right? So when I look at it, you're going to have to win 10, and somebody might win 11 games in our division next year, and it's going to look completely different. The third place winner probably come in at 7-9, especially with that extra 17th game that they put on the schedule.
7-10.
Hey, Devon, what you think?
7-10, right? 7-10.
Yeah.
Devon, I agree. I agree. I think the whole division will be a little better. I think I need to, like Jason Garrett, when he made the point about Kadarius Toney, the problem I think he had, didn't he have Tavon Austin in Dallas for a few years trying to use him on gadget stuff, and they know how to use him. But I think Kadarius Toney is a better receiver than Tavon Austin has ever been as a pure receiver. I think he runs better routes already, and I think he understands how to get open in the slot. I never saw that from Tavon Austin. I saw him at Dunbar. He played the same way at Dunbar that he played at West Virginia. He played in the NFL. It's been no different. Like he has never developed into a receiver that can win consistently without just pure line speed or quick.
He's a running back. He's a running back, man.
He really is. He is. So when I think about it, this division is going to come down. Like I said, 3 teams. The Eagles aren't going to be there. They're still trying to figure out what to do. Sirianni, we don't know anything about him as a coach. We don't know what he's got planned or anything. For what I know, he never even called a play. So he was just the quarterback coach in Indianapolis and never called plays. That was left up to Frank Reich. So that's a weird hire in itself, but it's typical systemic racism hire, like we know every day.
And Bieniemy sitting at home.
That's what it is. Yeah, you got Eric. You got all these guys around here that literally know what to do. Bieniemy been sitting there, has done wonders with Mahomes, and you go hire this guy. I just don't get it. But the Giants have a lot of offensive talent. They do.
Mhm,
26 is a freak of nature. He's coming back. The offensive line will be better with Solder bumping out to right. And then you have a 50-50 guy you haven't had that can go get it. People forget, isn't Darius Slayton on that team still?
Darius Slayton's on the outside, man. And
that's another speed guy that can make plays. That dude can make plays, man. He can make plays his whole career at Auburn. He always gave Alabama fits. I mean, I hated playing against that dude, man. And the dude can run.
He can run.
Then you still run. Yes, and you still got Sterling Shepard, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem, though. That's my problem with the Giants. I don't want Sterling Shepard in the middle anymore. Sterling Shepard has been hurt. He's been hurt. He has headaches. You know, he catches those headaches every year. He's always slipping after he catches the ball. If KT is going to be the factor he needs to be, KT needs to be the one in that position getting the reps. He needs to be able to touch the ball in an abundant rate and use all of his skill set. He don't need to come in and they know what's happening because he's in, right? Yeah, because you look at it, unless you're completely going to phase out Evan Ingram, because we haven't even talked about Evan Ingram. We know what talent he has, even though he has a case of the drop season every year.
That's his only issue, catching
football. Year. So eventually one of these years, he's either going to figure it out, but like they seem not to want to quit on him, right? So my thing
they don't want to quit on him because they look around the league and he's everything that the league is going to. Darren Waller, Kyle Pitts, he's everything that the league wants now.
But he's also everything that's held us back in the last 2 years too.
He drops a lot of passes. He drops a lot of balls. He does.
Let's get it, baby.
But
when you have, my thing is, you have more playmakers than you can put on the field at one time. With a, and we don't have Eric Bieniemy as our offensive coordinator or that kind of guy, that kind of mind. Like if Andy Reid was my coach, I'm A-okay with the Kadarius Toney pick. But with Jason Garrett being my offensive coordinator and my head coach being a special teams guy, I'm not seeing the fit. It's not gelling for me like as it should. So I'm more excited about my second round draft pick than I am about my first round draft pick.
Should be.
But what about Danny Dimes? We ain't talking about him.
Don't get me started on.
Okay, hold. Don't do that. Don't do that right now. Hey,
don't get me started on Danny Two Nickels, man.
We'll say that for the after. We'll show that for the after show. But here's the thing. I see you got the Lombardi trophy on your shirt too. Was that one we won, baby? Was that purposeful? But here's the thing. We've had discussions on this show about what sways one team or another, and what works for Washington right now is not just the draft, the coaching staff and the defense, right? Because you talked about Jason Garrett. Somebody from the Ravens, I ain't gonna say his name, he said that Jason Garrett has the most simplistic offense ever. Y'all remember when Willis McGahee and LaRon McClain ran them forever long touchdowns against Dallas that season, and Ed Reed just kept picking off Romo. After that game, a Ravens defensive player off the record saying Jason Garrett's the easiest coach to game plan for. That could hold the Giants back. But this is a Washington football team show. There's nothing that tells us that Washington should not win this division and actually learn from their playoff run from last season. I know it's a bad division, but you got it, and that's the point. NCAA tournament happens all the time, baby. You get in as a 14 seed, it don't matter. Once you get in, you win. So that's the key. This year they got expectations, but I feel like they got the right coaches. However, there should be no excuses. They also got the quarterback that they say they want. You know, they didn't trade up. They got Fitzmagic. It's going to be interesting to see how this division turns out. I'm not saying, hey, look, it's not me, Mark. I'm telling you what the Washington football team is saying. So you say we're agreeing that, 10-7, 11-6 is going to win this division. Does Washington have it in them with the schedule they have too? That's something we'll have to talk about another time. Brother POV, I have you back on. Can this team win this division? It's going to be a tough division. Mo is emphatic about that, as we can hear. I'm excited to see how these draft picks fit in. I'm thinking it's going to be in the latter part of the season where they really begin to come on strong, especially at the linebacker position. James is going to come on. He's going to come on late.
No, I'm with you. I think that's what it is. It's all about, can they improve on the quality of play next season? You know what I mean? Because I agree with Mo to the point that the NFC East is going to get better. Like it won't be as bad as it was last year. You got an influx of talent. Regardless of people may not be happy with where some individual drafted or whatnot. There's talent though. I mentioned the Cowboys. Regardless, like we still say the Cowboys don't have a secondary, but they now have two added playmakers on defense. The Eagles, we may say we don't know what the Eagles are doing, but they just got Devontae Smith. So that's a playmaker. That's somebody that every team in the NFC East has to worry about. Like you will have to worry about Devontae Smith. Like you will have to worry about him, regardless of what you think. Oh, the Eagles are some trash.
I don't know though. I don't know, Wole.
Oh, you're gonna worry
Two
about
has to
screens.
get him
Like
the ball.
you get
And I
wide
don't know-
receiver screens. You get
I don't
whatever
know
you
if Two
think.
can get him the ball. I don't know if Two can get him the ball. For
I'm
him
just
to be
saying
that
you're
way,
going
man.
to account for him. Like one way you will account for him. Like
the
he's a
only thing
threat.
on-
He's a threat.
I'm about to say, is Ertz coming back? I think Ertz came back.
Well, Ertz
right?
wants to be traded.
Ertz wants to be traded, but
Yeah,
I believe he's
they're
still
going
around.
to. They're trying to shop him. They're trying to shop him. But he's a
When you look
player.
at the Philly offense, they
Yeah.
probably have the Miles Sanders has been hurt. So
Yeah, Miles Sanders, you got the kid out last year they drafted with all the speed. They got speed.
Miles Sanders has been hurt.
Rieger.
They got Rieger. They got speed, man. Like you're going to have to. You're going regardless. You're going to get him. He's going to get lined up one-on-one with somebody. You're going to have to account.
I'm just saying, Rieger. What I've seen on tape so far, and when I watched him, Rager's was the 500-yard receiver last year. He's fast.
Oh, he's fast.
Look, fast don't matter. Can you play?
Well, he gets up. My thing is that he gets separation. Like it's not like he doesn't.
We ain't seen it, Wole.
Oh, they had quarterback situation where when Carson was there, wasn't playing at a level. Then you saw what Two did with even Two was getting the ball out there. Like Two was regardless. I'm not the biggest fan of Two. Is saying that can he do this 16 games, but Two can get it out there and Two can be effective. Like he can be very effective.
They're gonna have to change that offense for Two to do what he needs to do. Jalen Rager's there.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith is there. I feel he's an upgrade for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Jalen Rager.
They got Greg Ward, don't they?
Yeah, Ward. Yeah, Ward played well for last year. He played well for last year.
Hey, man, Ward tough. Ward just do all of the stuff nobody else want to do.
Yeah.
Ward just a guy to make plays, man.
Yeah.
He's just a glue guy. He just do it. Yeah, he just do a lot of things.
Yeah,
man.
so I'm just saying,
but they haven't fixed their problem until that offensive line can block.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Eagles are going to win 10 games. I'm saying you're going to have to account for the talent that's happening. Like they've got a new breed of talent coming in. They got a guy you got to worry about. Same thing with the Giants with Tony. Like you mentioned like Saquon coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to worry about that. So the teams will be better. Like regardless of, they'll be better than what they were last season. They will be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, will that mean in terms of wins or losses? I'm not one to predict because you never know what's going to happen in the season. But teams in terms of talent have gotten better. Like I like what the NFC East did in the first round. Like I liked what everybody did in the first round. I hated the Cowboys getting Micah Parsons. I hated it with passion, but it was, if you're looking at what they did, I'm like, yo, you got to stud, because if we all create a draft board, like without whatever team drafted whoever, we talking about players. If I told you that like Tony, all right, I heard people say Tony nice as hell. Like Tony nice. And all of a sudden you get this flag. You had some flag about people saying, yeah, I ain't like to pick with Tony. But before the draft started, a lot of people were talking highly of Tony. All right, Micah Parsons. Man, Micah Parsons could be the best player. Micah Parsons could be the best player in the draft other than Pitts or Lawrence. Heard that. So when you hear that, that lets you know Dallas got to do. People wanted Cox in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
He won the fourth round. Dallas got him. So when we talk and even John Smith, like he moved up. Davis moved up in the draft. He was the second. A lot of mocks had him in the second round, but he moved up like 2 weeks prior to the draft. So to me, like you got all these players, all this influx of talent coming in. The NFC East is going to be tougher, but I do think what I like about Washington is, and Ray mentioned it, it's about a fit. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about it last week, Mo. What did I say? What does this team need desperately the most in the first round? I said they needed to get a linebacker. We were talking about corner. It was people talking cornerbacks, whatever. I said, nah, this team need to get a linebacker. They need a dude that can run and tackle sideline who can cover. No more slow linebackers. Like they need to go fast. They got that. So it was a fit. It was a perfect fit for what this defense is about and what this team features. It's the defense. That's what it's featured. The defense. You saw the Cowboys. We could say arguably they should have got Surtain or Horn. Like they should have went corner. You know what I'm saying? Though they got a dog, arguably people were saying the weakness. It didn't
fall in the cards for them though. It was literally taken from under their feet. So
no, I get it. No, I get it. I'm just saying like that's what people were kind of that's what was the talk was before. So in terms of fit, right? So we can say like, Cowboys got a dog, but did they get somebody to fit their weakness? You know what I'm saying? To fix their weakness. So we can make that argument.
Do we know what the Cowboys are doing? Do we know if they're going 4-3 or 3-4?
I have no idea what the Cowboys are doing.
Because
I heard 3-4. I heard 3-4, Mo.
So if they're going 3-4, you think they're going to play all 4 of them?
Well, I thought it was Dan Quinn is a 4-3 guy.
That's what I'm saying.
4-3 guy, right? Seattle, right?
Dan Quinn.
They ran a 4-3, so I don't know what Dan Quinn.
So somebody's on the bench.
Somebody on the bench. Well, I mean, you sacrifice. Let me on the
bench. That's what I read on. That's what I read on Twitter.
Devon, let me ask you this question. I'm crazy in thinking that I want to put the LSU linebacker Cox.
Yeah.
I want to put him in the middle. I want to put Mike on the outside.
You can do that. You can do that too.
You can do that.
Yeah, I think I want to do that.
Dallas cut Antoine Woods today, the defensive tackle. So I don't know what they're doing. They picked up 2 in the draft, but they cut Woods, who was pretty productive for them, considering how bad their line was on the defensive side of the ball. He was probably the most consistent guy that made any kind of plays for them consistently on that D line.
Yeah,
so I think out of the 3 teams in contention, Dallas got the most holes.
They do. They do got our holes. I mean,
they have the most holes.
Yeah, contention.
But they also have the best quarterback.
That's the thing. Yeah,
that's where they can make up ground because he can still.
And offensively speaking, we're just being real.
They have the best.
They got the best receiving core.
They have the best offense.
They got the best offense.
Like they got the second best running back.
They got a Bama guy, Mario.
They got the second best. Well, they either got the first or the second best running back. How you want to look at it? The way I look at rankings. I mean, even though Zeke has been slipping, I think Zeke has the most tenure.
Yeah,
he's been doing it longer.
Yeah, he's been doing it longer. Let's be real. Like Zeke, and we're gonna look at who has been argued. If you look at top 5 running backs over the last some odd years, other than the last couple of years, it's been Zeke,
man. I've been saying Zeke the best running back in the league for a long time. And
I like the dude that was with LA before he got his legs started getting hurt.
Gurley.
You know it.
I like the guy. I like the guy down in Carolina.
Y'all got to remember.
Oh, yeah, that boy like that.
Y'all got to no. I get you, but like the guy in Carolina got off to a slow start. Zeke was 1,600 yards at that point. Yeah, Zeke had a suspended year at another 100-yard a game clip. Then Zeke came back and led the league in rushing again his third year.
I love Zeke.
I don't love Zeke.
Love Zeke, man. You can't hate on Zeke, man.
I'm a Michigan fan. I don't got like Zeke at all. I don't got like Zeke.
I can't stand that Ewok looking man.
I think Zeke has the least talent.
Man. I cannot stand that Ewok, man.
Gentlemen.
I think Zeke has the least talent out of the elite running backs.
The least talent?
I think he has the least talent out of all the elite running backs. Because he's not as versatile out the backfield.
Yeah, he can't catch.
But what he does in the run game, I mean, we've now realized in the last 2 years that a lot of it was predicated on the Great Wall of Dallas that was in front of him.
That line makes it easy. Like, that line made it easy.
His first couple of years, we didn't notice that the speed wasn't there because he was always at the second level of the defense.
That line made it easy.
And no safety wants to come downhill and try to hit that.
No.
But Mo, his first year, he was running by people. He caught that screen.
No, he was though. He did have a burst though. He had a burst.
When he caught that screen against Pittsburgh and went 90, he didn't look slow. Pittsburgh had guys that couldn't catch him.
Yeah, that's true.
He kind of gained. Once he got into a little bit of trouble off the field, he was never in the shape he was in that first year to me.
That's true.
And he still was a dog, even though he wasn't in shape.
I mean, but you know, coming from Urban Meyer, you're gonna be in shape because of the tempo of the game and because of how Urban Meyer. So I think that's what he was missing. I have seen Zeke decline. I have seen him decline. And if you look at just statistical numbers, Wole know I love numbers. When you look at just the numbers, it just looks bad. It looks real bad.
It's not all his fault though, but you know the situation.
It's his fault.
Dallas is not the most stable environment.
He was up though, Ray.
He got all the credit. No, it's real talk. This is the thing. Like, Mo is right.
Okay.
When it's
I'll
good.
take that. I ain't gonna lie, I'm biased on this one because you know I'm a Zeke fan. I've been a Zeke fan. I loved him since college.
Me too.
You know, but Mo, you spitting facts. I ain't gonna argue with you.
So when I look at
I like Dalvin Cook right now as the best running back in the league.
That's a good one.
Anyway,
that's a good one.
I want to ask y'all one quick question. You know, to close. Go ahead, Mo. I see your forehead perking up, man. I'm just telling you what I like.
Why y'all keep hating on the white boy, man? He good.
He said that. He said no. We somebody mentioned him.
Yeah, I said him. I said run CMC.
Devon mentioned him.
Yeah, I said him.
Don't
gotta do it again.
That's before we go.
Alvin Kamara, all right, man. Well, man,
he's explosive.
Hey, that's my cousin. That's West Africa right there, Wole.
Oh, sorry.
That's me right there.
Oh, sorry.
He's
cool. He's cool.
With that being said, look, we named.
Got to run for 1,000 one of these years, man. Alvin got to run for 1,000 one of these years. So we put him in the conversation.
I agree.
Well, that's the offense too. That's the way it's designed in New Orleans. But anyway, in Washington, we got the reigning defensive rookie of the year in Chase Young. We're talking about all this talent on both sides of the ball now coming to the NFC East. Is there a chance that we could see another defensive rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year emerge from the NFC East? Ojulari, Tony, Derek Forrest, I'm putting him in there. Jamin Davis. Who am I missing? Devontae Smith, of course. My bad. Of course, Michael Parsons. Could it happen? Do you see it coming? Or is it not that clear? Or is it not that, I guess, obvious that this is going to be an award that's awarded again to an NFC East player? If I'm saying
I think that, you know, in terms of who's in the best situation, I think Davis is in the best situation. Davis in the best situation because I mean, no, it's a fact. All right, so it's the same thing.
No, you're right. I ain't gonna argue.
Like Ray Lewis said this a while, you know, when he was playing football, and he said this about, you know, when he had Saragusa, he had Adams. He's like, yo, they make my life.
Kelly Gregg.
And Kelly Gregg. Yeah, and he had Kelly Gregg. And he said, yo, y'all want me to be me? I need dudes in the middle to do their thing. These dudes do their thing so I can be me. He's got a situation where Davis has a situation in Washington. He got
remember
3-4
what happened
dudes
with Ray Lewis, right? Remember what happened with Ray Lewis? He had like 2 years where
because he ain't had guys like that no more because they left.
And what's the next thing they went and did? They restocked. They restocked. They got some big boys. Yeah, they got Nada in the draft. You're right. So like that's the thing. So they got those guys, and they don't got like Devon said, they don't just got 2. Yo, they got like 3. They got like 4.
Yeah,
they can rotate.
They got quality depth.
Quality dudes, and not just dudes, not just anybody. Quality dudes that can do damage. You know what I'm saying? So
Jamin Davis, defensive rookie of the year. Y'all say
I like Jamin because they're gonna allow him to play. He's not gonna have that much on his plate, and they're gonna allow him to play to his strengths. Play in space, play some coverage. Ride them tight ends up the seam. And you've seen him, his 3 interceptions this year. 2 of them was right down the seam, cutting it off, using that athleticism, stretching out because he got the long arms, 6'3", and he's covering more ground than you think because he's trying to keep you off of, he's trying to get you to be, he's baiting you into it. Yeah. Right? The only questions I have about Jamin is
the 1 year.
How's he going to adapt in the NFL because he only had one quality year.
Yeah. So that's the question I had too.
1 year.
I had a question. That's a question.
Starter, but
yeah, that's the question.
He has all the talent.
Yeah,
he has all the talent, and he has the best talent surrounding him on that side of the ball, even more so than Micah. And like D said, Micah's lack of talent around him might make him act out of character because we know he feels he's Superman.
Fact.
Yeah, he does. He does, man. And that's the thing with Jamin. Y'all made a good point. He's coming into a no-lose situation because you don't come to a team ready-made up front like that. Usually, you don't. Not with 5 or 6 guys that are freaks of nature up there. We got literally like you have 2 great edge rushers. Then you got Deron Payne, who is the most unsung guy on that line. He is the guy that wreaks the most havoc inside. An inside pass rush is the quarterback's worst nightmare because they can't step up. That's what he does great. You didn't even have Ioannidis. That's scary. And Tim Settle grew a lot. Jonathan Allen is just a consistent, cerebral veteran captain. Doesn't talk like he said. We just play football. We don't do all that. He born and raised in Stonebridge area, Virginia. He's not worried about so he just play. So I think when you come into that situation, like y'all said, he's gonna be able to just be himself like he was at Kentucky. Just play, just run around and be freakish and be athletic, and don't give up big plays to the tight ends down the middle. You know.
And if they let him do that, can you imagine that dude in the nickel package? Can you imagine him when they go, when they spread the field and there's 4 receivers on the field, he's the one in the middle. He's the one in the middle with all the other versatile playmakers around him. Trust me, man. This dude cut all them arrow routes, them running backs like out the backfield. And when he come downhill, he chooses violence when he comes downhill. You know what I mean? He chooses violence when he comes downhill. So
he does.
He has all the gifts, man. Like he has all the gifts. I told y'all, I'm not a hater. When I see it, I acknowledge it.
Good job.
Davis, they got one.
I'm so proud of you. Hey, I want to read this tweet. It was about the who had the best draft in the East. My man Jay Dillon on Twitter said, I edge just over the Giants. Reason being is I think the Giants reached for Tony when they could have had Payne. He likes Ojulari. Ojulari is a good value in the second, but Payne is definitely better in my opinion. There were receivers available in the second that were on Tony's level and better route runners.
Are you talking about Kwity Paye?
Yeah,
Kwity Paye. See, that's what I thought the pick was going to be. I thought it was Kwity Paye because I thought that with the second first round draft pick that we got for next year, I figured we had enough weapons already. Because I'm not of the mode of having a surplus of weapons for a quarterback that hasn't shown he can handle it. That's my problem with Danny Dimes. Like if Danny Two Nickels, let me call him that. He ain't Danny Dimes, right? Danny Two Nickels, right? So that's what I thought when I saw that. I was just like, So I thought Kwity Paye was going to be the pick because I figured like he could be more of an impact. He could play more plays this year. Like we're looking at a team that won 6 games last year and lost 5 of them. Lost 5 games under 7 points, right? Mm-hmm. So the defense built the team up last year. Danny Dimes got hurt. 26 was out. I'm thinking 26 is the focal point of the offense. You're going to play action. You're going to RPO with Dimes. You're going to throw it deep to 19 because that's your new toy. I'm into how much you pay for players. Mm-hmm. Curtis Samuel has to produce because he's making $13 million next year. I'm sorry.
I agree.
We gave a guy $18 million on the outside. You tell him you draft another player at his position that same year before he even plays. That's not sound general managing to me, unless there's something about to happen that we don't know about. Somebody getting cut. I think it's Sterling Shepard.
But can't Tony help in the return game too?
But you don't draft number 20 overall for a punt returner.
I agree, but he's going to do more than that. I think I think that's a good pick, man. I love Tony, man, and I'm not a Florida guy, but I watched that guy all year, and he did a lot of damage without Kyle Pitts some weeks because Pitts got hurt. He was the focal point, and people still couldn't stop him.
But what are we going to do? Like, how do you have to get him on the field? And right now,
I don't think it's a problem to have too many weapons. That's a good thing. You just got to figure out how to use them. Because some people don't have any. Like last year, we've been Washington last year with none.
Zero.
You got to figure out how to make that work. I mean,
let's think about the coordinator
over nothing. You know what I mean?
Let's think about the coordinator, though. Let's think about that coordinator. Jason Garrett.
You got a coordinator here.
If I had somebody,
both of them on shaky ground, bro. I'll put that in the chat, baby.
Scott Turner.
They both on shaky ground.
Great either, man.
Scott Turner got everything he needs now, according to the people.
When the team signed Curtis Samuel, first thing I said is he gonna be able to use him because Curtis Samuel didn't enjoy any success under him.
No, he didn't. He had his best year without him.
He got Joe Brady. He got Joe Brady last year. You see what Joe Brady did? Joe Brady went and got Terrace Marshall. I need that back. Let's run. Yep. We're gonna put Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore on the other side of him.
Oh, I preached the same thing to a rack of folks about that same thing. I actually got on Facebook. We got a Facebook comment. My man George on Facebook said, in terms of addressing the needs each team had, Washington did the best job, but I think the Giants going back and adding the Bears first rounder could end up being the best move. Actually, think all the NFC East teams did well. Almost similar to what I said. I thought
good point.
I thought that's the only thing that makes the Giants pick. That's the only thing that's the only reason I'm not going no crazy over Kadarius Toney. We got that extra first round pick next year, and we're gonna see about it.
Well, I think getting Ojulari from Georgia.
Yeah,
that's nothing but Matthias Kiwanuka with a little more speed.
Yeah,
that's Kiwanuka with a little more speed. He has a little more quickness off the edge than Kiwanuka did. Probably not as good
against that run, boy. He played that run on the way to the quarterback.
Yeah, he's tough, man. He's solid.
He's tough.
He's solid pickup. Solid
Cosme versus Ojulari. Look out for the next decade.
Hey, Devon, man, thanks for being on the show, man. Hey, let our listeners know how they can find you on social media and tell them what you got going on again with the Shadow League and whatnot.
You can catch me on Instagram at POV Mason Sports, also Twitter POV Mason Sports, and Facebook Devon POV Mason. You can also catch me with MLB Bro. It's a black website dedicated to black baseball players, run by Rob Parker from Fox Sports 1. You can check me on there. I do weekly contributions and articles for them. Also, I'm with the Shadow League. You can also check me there. Just go there and type in POV, Devon, Mason. Any of them, names will get you up to my stuff. And got like 200 articles with one and 15 with the other. So check me out.
Man. Hey,
I appreciate you, bro. Man. My bad. I called you Devon earlier, man.
It's cool, man. No thing, man.
Me too. I said the same thing. I felt bad about that too. I said the same. I did the same thing. I felt bad about that.
My man, no, real talk, man. My best virtual friend ever, man.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
We
gotta get together, man. Go out.
You know it, bro.
Better out here, man. You know what I'm
saying? Hey, man, you got right about Kenny Lofton, man. That was my dude, man.
I got you. You know what? He's on the list. I got him on the list. Yeah, that was my guy. I got him, and I got Delano DeShields. You know, he's from Seaford, Maryland.
Okay.
From Seaford, Delaware.
Okay.
I got him on there too. I got a few
Eric
guys.
Davis too, man. You got like
Eric
all them
Davis,
brothers, man.
yes, indeed.
Eric Davis.
I did Doc Gooden. I got Daryl Strawberry coming up soon. Yeah, you know, I did Doc Gooden. I did one where before he pitched his first game, he went to the arena early, didn't know that the team wasn't supposed to go there early, and he goes to the Astrodome and tries to jump the gate to get in. They locked the dude up before he pitched.
Wow.
I don't know if y'all knew that he got locked up and they bailed him out an hour before they started the game. He went out there and threw a 5-hitter. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
That's why your articles
like
are dope, man.
Yeah, man.
Information, baby. Man. Mike Devereaux, that's my guy. When I
was
man,
actually, it's funny.
Yeah.
Mike,
Big Sam Horn, all them
Sam
guys,
Horn.
I
was Jeffrey Hammond's dude, you know, how to stand.
Look at Mo over that thing looking real young, like who?
Oh, yeah, man.
Hey, old head hour has started, baby.
I know you know. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Search All Burgundy and go Errrything with her.
I'm gonna read it though.
Also, tweet us at Urban Sports Team. Hit us up on our Urban Sports Team Facebook page. Where you cracking me up for real? Hey, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold Errrything with the Urban Sports Scene on Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia for ages. You dig? Deuces. Hey, Mega, lead us out, big.
I'm about to say that sound too.